Advanced persistent threats are a very significant concern for a lot of our clients today. And as the name would suggest, an advanced persistent threat is something that's different than the types of threats that our client organizations have dealt with in the past. In the past, software or other technologies may have vulnerabilities associated with them. And what hackers would do is they would search around using a variety of different probing techniques to search for any entity that they could find which may have a vulnerability. And if they found that vulnerability, they'd figure out a way to exploit that vulnerability and then see what they could do some damage, deface a website, bring down a server, rob information. But if you know, what is characteristic of that approach is that it's random and it's looking to exploit vulnerabilities where they may not know the company which has the vulnerability or is exposed to a particular exploit. With advanced persistent threat, entities are, whether they be state-sponsored or criminals or organized crime, are specifically targeting organizations and our clients, whether they be government clients or commercial entities. And they're targeting them nearly always for financial gain, to rob intellectual property, or to do some significant damage to that organization. And that is their intent and purpose. They may take 12 months to perpetrate their attack and to plan for it and to put in the mechanisms that they need to take on that attack. And they can use very advanced phishing techniques where they will look at the background of an important executive maybe in the client organization. They will use very targeted and specific emails to help encourage that executive to click on a link which might end up installing a very minor piece of software which would then download other software to cause problems within an organization. So the attackers are sophisticated, they're persistent in that they may take a long period of time, and they're targeted in that they have something that they really want from a specific organization, and they'll use any technique that they can possibly use to get that information out. So what's characteristic of these attacks is that they will come from unknown sources and they will be sophisticated in that you just can't look at weaknesses which you might have, known exploits, and just use signature-based detection mechanisms to try and stop those attacks. It has to be a lot more sophisticated. And a single product in your security arsenal isn't going to solve the problem for you. You can't just look at a firewall and adding features to that firewall and hope that's going to stop advanced persistent threats, or even your intrusion prevention system. You can't just add capabilities to that. So for advanced persistent threats, you need to have a view that spans many parts of your organization. You need to have a very significant understanding of all the potential threats which may come from the outside. That is threat intelligence from about the internet itself, threatening regions, threatening websites, the reputation associated with bad URLs out on the internet, for example. We also need to have an understanding of activity inside. So rather than just focusing on checking for bad things which may come into your organization, checking and monitoring all activity inside your organization so that then you can spot unusual behaviors or anomalous behaviors within your organization that could be as a result of somebody doing something unusual, an unusual outbound connection, an unusual file transfer late at night, an unusual protocol or application being used to a very sensitive server. The only way you can know that is by tracking activity. And then the last, of course, is very fine-grained control on the intrusion prevention systems and the threat systems so that you can not just block a particular type of threat, you can actually block and control activities which you're seeing. Somebody posting information to Facebook, for example. So what is really powerful about IBM's approach to security in this instance, because IBM has put together a large number of capabilities that span external threat intelligence because of the incredible data that IBM's collecting about threats on the internet, incredible analytics and security intelligence capabilities that monitor lots of activities that are happening inside an enterprise and inside our client organizations, combined with threat capabilities which can look at a particular link, watch all the traffic that's going by, and look at it in really great level of detail, IBM can put these different pieces together, and that is our approach to help our customers deal with advanced persistent threats. For security, this is a really big deal because we're moving from a signature way of trying to address threats, because signatures are important, but in this new world, they're not sufficient. You need something more. And signatures are important because you're able to look at whatever the technique is that you use to stop activity. You're looking at exploits, and you're looking at people trying to exploit those particular weaknesses. But also now with our advanced persistent threat architecture, we're looking at full activities, being able to look at all the activity externally, activity internally, and activity on a wire itself, put that together in an advanced persistent threat architecture, and that is a key set of capabilities which IBM can put together with all the assets that IBM has now to bring to bear in security. And actually, if you look at recently, we announced a new product, the XGS product, a spectacular new enhancement to our IPS capabilities and new ways of monitoring external activity and controlling that external activity and internal activity. That is a great product just by itself, but incredibly powerful when it's put into our overall architecture. So advanced persistent threats are a significant worry for customers and will be for the foreseeable future. A holistic approach is absolutely critical to be able to take it on, and to be able to take these threats on, activity-based monitoring, extensive monitoring across an organization, bringing together all the various different facets is how our clients will get control of this, and IBM will be at the forefront of this and already is at the forefront of this by being able to put these three different things together.